Hello everybody, welcome to another Humane Animal Welfare Society virtual education program. Today we're going to talk about another of the 5 freedoms. The 5 freedoms are standards of care that were developed to make sure that animals being cared for by humans are getting everything they need to be happy and healthy. Today we'll be talking about the 3rd freedom, which is the freedom from pain, injury, and disease. On this page we have a variety of pets, and I'd like you to take a minute to think about which ones you think the freedom from pain, injury, or disease applies to. I'm hoping you said all of them. Sometimes people think they only need to take their pet to the veterinarian if it's a pet like a dog or a cat. But all of our pets, no matter what size they are, deserve to have their health cared for. So take a look at this slide. Which of these pets do you think the freedom from pain, injury, and disease is talking about? If you chose the dog and the cat wearing the cones are used so that pets can't lick or chew on their injuries, you're absolutely correct. Of course, we don't want our pets to suffer if they are sick or injured. But the freedom from pain, injury, and disease goes way beyond just reacting to a pet that needs medical attention. It's also about keeping a pet healthy and doing what we can to prevent disease and injury. Preventive health care means that you're addressing health before you notice any problems. So for instance, once a year you may take your pet to the veterinarian for a wellness exam and just assess if your pet is healthy overall. On this slide we have quite a few pictures. Which of the images do you think represent something that has to do with preventive health care for our pets? On the page you can see a tick, a cat toy, tooth, dog biscuit, dog in a costume, a syringe, and one of my favorites, a poop emoji. So the tick actually represents some of the parasites that our pets can get that can make them very, very sick. There are medications you can give your pet to prevent them from getting these types of parasites. The tooth represents dental care because just like us, our pets need to have their teeth cared for. The syringe represents vaccines because there are certain diseases that can be protected by vaccination. And the poop, believe it or not, is important too, because a poop sample can indicate whether a pet has certain types of parasites or not. But preventing pain, injury, and disease goes beyond just taking our pet to the vet for preventive wellness exams. It also includes ways that we can make sure that our pets are kept safe. We have the girl with the dog on the leash. We don't want our pets running around in the road and possibly getting hit by a car. That also includes the fence in the backyard. We don't want our pets running into the street. We have a poinsettia, so we want to think about what plants do we have both in our house and also in our backyard, and are those plants potentially poisonous to our pets? And if so, how can we prevent our pet from getting into those types of plants? The baby gate may prevent your pet from getting into an area where they could get into some trouble. And then we want to think about the environment that our pets can get to. Here we've got a cat laying on a counter. Is there anything on that countertop that could potentially be dangerous to that cat? So we want to think about cat proofing or puppy proofing our house, just like we would kid proof a house if we had a toddler running around. And then the other thing we've got is cleaning products. Where are those cleaning products kept? Are they kept in a cabinet that your pet can't get into, or are they out where maybe a pet could ingest some of those cleaning products and become very sick? One of the things that is really interesting about the 5 freedoms is that a lot of the freedoms circle back to the other freedoms. Freedom from pain, injury, and disease has a lot to do with some of the other freedoms. So we already talked about freedom from hunger and thirst. And if you think back to freedom from hunger and thirst, I gave you a little quiz. We're going to repeat that right now. So here on this slide we have mealworms. Which of these animals do you think would eat mealworms? There's a bearded dragon, a tortoise, a chameleon, and an iguana. And I'll give you a couple of seconds to think about that. The winners of this particular quiz are those of you who chose the chameleon and the bearded dragon. One of the things we really want to think about is not only feeding our pets, but feeding them the proper things, because if they don't eat the right things, they can become very sick. Here's a picture of a tortoise that was fed the wrong food. You can see that the shell is disformed. if we're not feeding our pets the correct food, it might not be as obvious as in this picture of the tortoise, but they're not going to be developing properly and they're not going to be healthy. Freedom from pain, injury, and disease also circles back to freedom from discomfort. This slide shows nail trimmers and a dog's nails. And the health benefit of trimming your pet's nails are A, the nails look nicer, B, so that the nails won't make an annoying clicking sound on the floor, or C, shorter nails allow the animal to walk properly. So while it's true that the nails would look nicer and they won't make an annoying clicking sound on the floor, shorter nails actually are healthier because they allow the animal to walk properly. Here's a picture of a dog's foot, and it's very obvious that those nails are way too long and haven't been trimmed in quite some time. You can see that the nails are curving under, and the dog won't be able to walk properly because the nails are curving underneath the paw pad. That means that the dog has to adjust how he's walking, and it's putting a lot of pressure onto other joints in his body and may cause some physical problems because of that. So if we want to make sure that our pets are staying safe from pain, injury, and disease, we need to do our research. We need to find out what do we need to do as far as health care, what kind of a veterinarian would be best to work with our type of pet, and also ways that we can prevent pain, injury, and disease from happening. Do your research if you have a pet. Let's keep our pets healthy. And thank you so much for joining the Humane Animal Welfare Society today.